Hey everyone, Tony here. Hope you're doing well. It's Monday, September 24th. Have some news to share with you guys. First, let's take a look at the market. We are currently seeing a pullback. Remember, we talked about market cycles, bear and bull, and I told you guys I didn't want to call the run-up we had a bull run, but rather a bullish sentiment is being stirred. We are seeing a bit of a pullback across the board. Everything is pretty much down from an hourly and 24-hour perspective. And that's why I said, let's let this play out, because the actual catalysts for the bull run have not taken place yet. Remember, I mentioned the first is the launch of Ripple's XRapid, as well as the launch of Bakkt, and we could see some other positive news. So obviously, we had a run-up last week around XRP, which led a bit of a market rally because folks heard about the launch of XRapid that was coming, which banks will be using. We also heard about the Ripple PNC partnership, PNC Bank. So that stirred up a bullish sentiment around XRP, and the rest of the market reacted. However, as mentioned here, we are seeing a pullback. So remember what like I said, market cycles, right? And of course, there's some manipulation in the market. So that's why we have to let these things play out. And the good thing is the correction that we had back down to 50 cents for XRP was a healthy one. Currently, it's hovering around 46 cents. So let's see if it holds certain support levels and what happens. But like I said, the catalysts for the bull run that we have been discussing for a while now have not taken place yet. So it's still a waiting game for these items, for these things to take place. Now, there could be some form of a catalyst tomorrow. What do I mean by that? Well, you remember we talked a bit about this, guys. I reported, those of you who are subscribed to the channel, about the Congressman Warren Davidson, who will be meeting with like 32 crypto companies. That includes Wall Street, venture capitalists, crypto companies, exchanges, and so forth. And this meeting is taking place tomorrow. I even tweeted at Congressman Warren Davidson, asking if the meeting is taking place. I haven't gotten a response, but just want to let you guys know that. But this will be taking place, guys. So Representative Warren Davidson of Ohio is hosting a roundtable of representatives from Wall Street, venture capital firms, and the cryptocurrency industry Tuesday, ahead of a bill he's drafting for introduction this fall. And there's a lot of important people going to be here. Fidelity, State Street, Union Square Ventures, Andreessen Horowitz, the NASDAQ, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce are attending, as well as crypto startups Ripple and Coinbase, and are set to weigh in on how to police the multi-billion-dollar cryptocurrency market. Here's a quote from Warren Davidson. "Your input is critical to helping us preempt a heavy-handed regulatory approach that could stall innovation and kill the U.S. ICO market." So much kudos to Congressman Warren Davidson. He's leading the charge here. And as we've been talking about, the U.S. is lagging a bit behind, and they need to speed this up, get the regulations, and make sure they're not stifling the innovation. But a lot of important people are going to be here. I believe Kraken Exchange is also going to be there. So a good amount of folks, Ripple and Coinbase, obviously, and obviously you have the venture capital firms and investment firms such as Andreessen Horowitz and so forth. So this is an important meeting, and I'm hoping, some sort of some sort of positive news comes out, something maybe bullish. So it says nearly 50 representatives from the U.S. financial giants and cryptocurrency startups are set to meet with Washington lawmakers this week to talk through what some say is an incomplete and murky regulatory landscape. Now, this is a great sign that this is happening. Can you imagine crypto companies, venture capitalist firms that are focused on crypto, and investment firms and even traditional firms like Fidelity are all meeting with U.S. lawmakers to talk about the growth of this market and making sure the regulations are put into place for its growth, guys. So that's why I always tell you guys to keep holding, and because when we see news like this where the government's on board and you have all these companies and they're coming together, it means that the stage is being set for the growth of this market. And bigger things are ahead. Obviously, they're meeting to iron out the details, but look at how far we've come. Crypto exchanges are meeting with U.S. congressmen and the government folks. right, guys? Look how far we've come. There, and you know, these are the type of things that need to happen in a young market like this, right? A market that's in its infancy stages. So a great sign, and I will update you on the news. I'm sure we're going to hear some announcements. We're going to hear some stuff tomorrow. So I will definitely update you guys tomorrow. But this is definitely and certainly an important meeting here. And let's keep our eyes and ears open because, like I said, something big could come out of this. And I'm hoping that... you know, we get some bullish statement, but who knows, right? But the fact that it's happening is, even if nothing comes out of this, is for sure a great sign, guys. Now, speaking of Wall Street, guys, shout out to Bank XRP here for finding this video. So, a crypto YouTube channel by the name of Modern Wall Street. It's a fairly new crypto exchange. They had a roundtable with a bunch of folks from the Wall Street, from Wall Street, excuse me, who focus on gold, currencies, precious metals, and things like that. And in their conversation, the topic of crypto came up and the approach to that and what impact it's going to have and so forth. And they talked about Bitcoin, and then one guy, this guy right here to the left, all the way to the left, he brought up Ripple. This guy right here, he was very anti-Bitcoin, talking about it's used by criminals and blah, 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 and it's going to go down in value. And this guy was like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but there's other companies that are doing real world, that have cryptos that are going to have real world utility. And he mentions Ripple. And he talks about being able to exchange currencies between one currency and XRP as a bridge asset. So it's so interesting, right? At a table like this, cryptocurrencies come up, and I can't play the video because I don't want to have copyright issues. But what I'm going to do is put a link in the description to the video, and at the start of when they start to talk about cryptocurrencies and XRP and so forth, so you guys can absolutely take a look at it because it's very insightful, and I highly recommend you actually watch the entire video. So do me a favor, guys. It's a 30-minute long video, but it's worth watching and listening because at least you get the context and the segue of, you know, talking about gold and all of that and going into crypto as a reserve currency or asset. And then their thoughts on Bitcoin, and then the one guy brings up Ripple. So keep in mind who these folks are. These guys are not jokes. They're not some random bloggers. They are actual Wall Street guys. They have their names in here, so you can look them up, and they are out there to make money, right? So very interesting that the crypto came up, as it is. We've been hearing Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, many other investment firms and Wall Street and hedge funds have been obviously focusing on crypto, looking to provide investment services into crypto, guys. So it is now a topic among the Wall Street folks. Don't miss that. So like I said, link in the description. Definitely watch this video, guys, and you'll get some really good insight into the way they're thinking and what's to come. So shout out, like I said, to Bank XRP who found this video. And once again, this is a recent video, guys. Let me just make sure I clarify that this is a recent video published on September 21st, 2018. This is not an old video. So keep in mind, in context of this conversation and what's to come and the things that are happening around Ripple. So some good times are ahead. We just got to be patient. So I did also wanted to quickly run through the Ripple Swell Conference agenda. It is coming up in a week, October 1st, guys. It's 2 days, October 1st and the 2nd. So they have had continually updated the agenda. So I want to make sure you guys are aware this agenda is live, and the updated version at least. And it's important to note who is at Ripple Swell Conference and who's going to be speaking. It's very insightful. Obviously, we know about Bill Clinton, President Bill Clinton, and we also have Gene Sperling. He was the National Economic Council Director and National Economic Advisor under Clinton and Obama. So, guys, some people are speculating that President Clinton could be the one former President Clinton could be the one who talks about XRapid's launch, and maybe it's going live, and which clients are going to be using it. We'll see. We don't know for sure, but this is big. This is big because the reason they're bringing Bill Clinton here, former President Bill Clinton, is because he was obviously part of the era which really ushered in the growth of the internet, right? Around his time. I believe he helped the White House to go online, where it was whitehouse.gov, and they started putting out content. So it's very relevant for him to be there. And with some of the things that he does, and once again, I'm not here to discuss politics. I'm just talking about the person. I don't care about Republican or Democrat right now. We're talking about crypto, right? So I'm talking about him, but not in a political way, just in a factual way. So I hope you guys get that. So obviously he's also part of being part of government and having a lot of connections with the banking financial industry. So we'll see what he says and what comes out of this, guys. I'm very curious about that. Obviously, Brad Garlinghouse will be doing his opening remarks. The head of innovation at Banco Santander, so Santander Bank, will be there as well. Just trying to call out the important people here. Okay, so I can't pronounce this guy's name, Moshen. He's the head of innovation, Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority. The Central Bank of Brazil will be there. Let's see who else. Ben Losky. Well, he works for Ripple, but remember we talked a bit about him. I think it was earlier this year. If you guys were a subscriber on my channel, I made a video specifically about this guy who worked in New York, part of helping banks get licenses and putting regulations. He's a heavyweight, and it's so awesome that Ripple has this guy. On I think he's on the advisory board, or is he an employee? I don't remember, but I think he's absolutely part of Ripple. You also have Richard Tang, who's a CEO of Abu Dhabi Global Market. Let's see here. I can't pronounce this woman's name. I apologize. Director of FinTech Department at Securities and Exchange Commission in Thailand. You have the Deputy General Counsel of the IMF. Guys, big things are ahead. These people are not coming here for just the sake of it. They already have a connection to Ripple and going to be working. And I hope you get, like I always say, go back to business economics. If you understand how that works and you understand what Ripple is doing to change the way money's moved, and it's on a global scale, they're working with central banks and obviously people from the IMF, people from the Federal Reserve. Huge things are ahead, and you really have to put your thinking cap on here and to get an understanding of what is going on. Because like I said, people still have tunnel vision with crypto. They don't understand the business application, the use case, and the utility. And Ripple is leading that charge big time. People are still, so focused on, oh, let me dump this amount of money into this ICO so I can make some money, right? There's a lot of people still focused that way, and there's a lot of religious divide, Bitcoin maximalists, and so forth. And I hold Bitcoin, I hold Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple XRP, Stellar, and so forth. But I'm not a super follower of one crypto for the sake of my feelings. I'm factual and logical. If something is making significant progress, such as Ripple, I will call it out and speak to it logically and factually. This is why I'm showing you proof here. I'm not making this up. I'm not saying, making stuff up like this is going to happen and that's going to happen. No, I'm actually showing you what the company's saying and who's going to be there and what the partnerships, right? You go to Ripple's website, they have all their partners listed for the most part. So let's see. You have a senior writer from Fortune magazine. You have a former chief product officer from eBay. That's interesting. The future of commerce. That is interesting. Reason being, XRP via the Spring Initiative is being injected into marketplaces and ecosystems. And with Coil and Codius on the rise, I can probably see a big use case here with XRP within commerce, guys. So we will see. We will see. Let's see. You have the SEVP, Chief Technology Officer and Head of Operations of CM Commercial Bank. you also have the co-founder and CEO of Instagram and the founder and CEO of BTech. So both we know are set to. Excuse me. Let me back up. They have been testing Ripple's XRapid. So they're money transfer companies. So interesting stuff. There's also the CEO of TransferGo. Let's see. Try to call out the import. Oh, here we go. This is actually a good set of folks here. The CEO of Remitter, head of business development at Bittrex, which obviously will be an XRapid partner and liquidity provider. SVP payment services at ITD, CFO at Qualix, and SVP and COO Catalyst Corporate Federal Credit Union. So a lot of these companies already partnered working with Ripple, and you know, it's one thing to say, someone to say you yourself to say, I'm great or I'm good at this. But when a client or a friend or someone who a third party can recommend and say these things to you, it comes off more positive, right? It's like a review, a testimonial. And I've always find that very powerful that these companies would go on record to say, hey, we tested XRapid, we worked with Ripple, we like our results, and we're going to move ahead. And that's proof right there, proof in the pudding, right, so to speak. And I'm so curious to see what is going to be said and announced here, guys. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, XRapid goes live maybe Monday or Tuesday. We'll see. It's okay if it doesn't, but it will be exciting if it is, especially all the hype around their conference, Bill Clinton being there. You can imagine the media hype and so forth. So great things are ahead. As I always tell you guys, look at the facts, look at the things that are being done, so that if these charts are not moving up or they're just down, you're not panicking, you're not worrying, you don't have weak hands. By now, as I've been trying to share with you guys, markets work within cycles, bear and bull. We know negative news drives the market down. We know there's manipulation. These are things I've said many times to you guys. So we see some red. Don't worry. Don't panic. Markets move in cycles. But as far as the facts and what is being worked on behind the scenes and the things that are to come, right? That's why I try to share the facts with you guys and the sources. The market will grow. Crypto is here to stay. It is a new asset class. Blockchain technology is the internet, I guess you should say 3.0, the next layer on top of the internet, right? That will just improve the way we trust each other and communicate and transact, not just with cryptocurrencies, but the blockchain technology will disrupt many industries, healthcare, finance, and so forth. But cryptocurrencies leading the charge with blockchain growth and development and adoption, guys. So great things are ahead. I always tell you, count yourself lucky. You're ahead of the curve if you're holding crypto right now. We are in the infancy stages. I know I've said these things many times, but sometimes there's new people watching the video. And you, like I always said, look at what the big money is doing. Look at what the businesses are doing. Everyone is gearing up to come to this market. The facts are all here. Look at who's going to go meet with the U.S. congressmen in Washington, guys. Fidelity, State Street, come on. Okay, if you said Ripple and Coinbase, sure, they're crypto companies. But look at these other companies, the NASDAQ. Guys, I hope you see what's to come. Big things are ahead. Stay positive. Stay focused and sharp. Like I said, watch the big money, what is being done behind the scenes, regardless of how the market's moving or whatever. Because just from what we saw last week, guys, this thing can just flip overnight and run up significant. Like within 2 weeks, we can easily see a 20,000 Bitcoin, a $6 XRP, a $800 Ethereum, right? We've seen it. Within a 24-hour period, it can grow significantly. Now, obviously, like I always say, there's a run-up, then a correction, new support level, and so forth and so forth. You guys should know those principles at least. But great things are ahead. Keep holding. And if you like this video, please subscribe, please thumbs up, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And like I said, I'm going to leave a link to this video. Highly recommend you guys watch it. Watch the entire thing. If not, I'll just link to the part where they start talking about crypto and so forth. So check it out, guys, and thank you for your support.